is spared there from Johnson as we welcome in the legend, the 3-time champ, the 3-time MVP, the 9-time NBL, All-NBL first-team guy, and the Hall of Famer, of course, the man whose name sits alongside Cal Bruton on the championship trophy for the NBL Blitz, the one and only leaping Leroy Loggins. Leroy, so good to have you have a chat again, mate.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here, man. You know, I'm thinking about the preseason after last year's preseason and the talent that came out here and the talent that I was hearing that was coming out here. I couldn't wait to see it, man.
First and foremost, it's always a pleasure when I see you. It's always love. One thing that I admired is as soon as I came out here, there was names that was thrown to me. You know, do you know this person? Do you know that person? You was the first name. I was like, with a guy named Leaping Leroy Loggins, he had to be the truth. So, how did you get to Australia?
I was very fortunate enough to make an NAIA All-Star team. They had 12 players from around America that were chosen to come to Australia. I had never been out of the country before, so a lot of my friends and family had opportunities and they wasted them. So it was an opportunity for me to come overseas, first time leaving the country, had to borrow a suit jacket, had to borrow a suitcase, borrowed $20 from my aunt because I said, I'm taking this opportunity.
Right.
And came to Australia, landed in Sydney, and went up to the Gold Coast, played 2 months up there, and loved the country, loved the people, and thought if I could ever get back here, I was going to come back.
Talk to me about, first of all, how does it actually feel to have a statue in front of an arena? Your statue. That is incredible.
You want to talk about a freaky situation? Man, seeing yourself, a bronze statue or whatever, like, I don't know how people, they might have a twin brother or sister, you know, but to actually see another Leroy Loggins, that's a freaky feeling, man. The first time I saw it, I went to NBL Shopping Center, and they had the prevailing of the statue. The closer I got to the statue, the freakier it felt, man. Because, you know, back in my day, people that passed away got statues.
Right.
You know, so I was very honored because that was donated by the city of Brisbane, the people, to thank me for the service that I gave them. So, yeah, it was, you know, it's a great feeling.
Leroy, your game was versatile, right? And these days with basketball, the positionless basketball they talk about as Matt Hodgson throws that down, versatility has become a premium skill, right? And this Brisbane Bullets lineup that we're looking at here is full of versatile players. What are your impressions of the modern game? Do you enjoy watching how it plays now?
I'm struggling. I'm struggling because I sit here and I watch the guys carrying the ball. Now you're allowed to travel after you catch it, and you know it's a different game now, different generation. But the talent is definitely second to none. You know, I enjoy watching the talent of these young boys coming out here, and the Australian talent is rising as well. So it's good, man. It makes me appreciate basketball again. Because for a moment there, I was kind of going to sleep, you know. But now I'm awake and I'm excited to be here, and you know, it's some very good talent out here, man. And it's good to see.
Right. As Taylor Braun knocks that one down, and the Bullets have flown into the lead. They lead 51-46, are storming their way through this one after trailing early.
You know, so now we have, the NBL has the Next Stars program. We have LaMelo Ball. We have R.J. Hampton. To name a few, we have Terry Armstrong as well. Some have come before, but what do you think about that program and LaMelo Ball and R.J. Hampton so far?
Well, I think it's an opportunity for them as young men to forego college, because, you know, back in our day, the thing was to go to college, get an education, play basketball, and then go pro or whatever. But these days, there's money in sport for these young kids now, you know, and a lot of kids don't want to go and sit in the classroom for 4 years and struggle. Some people struggle with academics.
Right.
So, I mean, why wouldn't you just, if I had an opportunity not to go sit in class because I wasn't the brightest kid in school, you know, I just wanted to play basketball. And I think if something like that was around when I was playing, I would have taken the option that Melo and Hampton and them took, you know, because it's a long slug, you know, and most of us just want to get to our professional career as soon as possible if it ever happens. So I think it's a great idea, but at the same time, you got to be smart because basketball doesn't last forever. What are you going to do with that money? Are you going to study in your off season, or you know when you get a chance to get an education? So I think it's a good thing for some players, but then other guys, you know, they might do the one and done thing, you know, like Ben Simmons, you know, so it's an opportunity for a young man to make some money and learn some skills, get some experience.
A three-point hit from Deshaun Taylor, then a stop and an Anthony Drimmick pull-up ties this thing up at 53 as Obi Shea sends Patterson away. Hodgson edges Brisbane back in front. Leroy, you're a Bullets legend. What are your impressions of this new look Bullets lineup? Looking to take another step forward after making the playoffs last season.
I think they built around that. You know, I can't remember the big fella's name. He's
Big Matty Hodgson?
No, the other one. The one with the hops that dunks.
Magnate.
Oh, Magnate.
Magnate.
You like him?
Yes, he was injured last year. So to see him come in, add him to the puzzle, as well as I think this guy from Europe, because I haven't seen the Bullets this year. This is the first time I'm actually getting to see him.
Right.
So they do have the pieces together to do it and go one further. I think, you know, we'll see what happens. You know, because a lot of times what we see on paper don't really happen on the court.
Yeah.
So we'll see in due time if they go one step further. You know.
Cam Glidden jump shot makes it 57-55. You speak about that and how much you can glean. You get our first chance as Sobi gets in transition and throws it down. 4-point lead again for Brisbane. You guys, your name's on the trophy, the Loggins Bruton Cup. And they bring you down, bring you to the Blitz, wherever it is, year in, year out, especially in recent times. Is it a weekend or a few days a week that you look forward to and you enjoy?
Yeah, I do, because it gives me a chance to get away from home, you know, think about things, you know. I don't have to wake up tomorrow and worry about getting my son or my daughter somewhere or have commitments with my wife. So it's a great time to come down, but also to see the basketball talent and be appreciated for what you've done over the years. You know, you come in a place like this and a lot of people come up and say, oh, thank you for the memories. And
Corey stands up and bows to you from across the court. Shows the respect. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good to come out, man, because we all want to look back in life and say, oh, have I contributed anything in life? So to come here and play basketball and have a great career and to have a family, you know, and not have to really want for anything, man, it's a good feeling.
Bacona and Taylor exchange buckets, and it's a 4-point game.
Let's talk about the future of basketball. You know, the NBL is rocking right now. Basketball at the junior level is played at, participation-wise, is at a high. Let's talk about World Cup, the Olympics, Australia.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I think we had our chances to win a medal at the World Cup, but unfortunately we fell short again. But I think the future's bright. You know, if we can get some of these players, you know, Brokaw, Simmons, Bolden,
Maker.
you know, Maker,
Exum.
you know,
Exum.
The list goes on, man. Somebody's going to have a hard job shortly. You know, and I think we still have an opportunity to win a medal. You know, so I think the experience of losing makes you hungry. So these guys should be hungry, man. I think every player that went over there and lost should come back here with a chip on their shoulder. And if I was them, I'd be marking on my calendar when the Olympics start, you know. At least I'd be focused. I'd be ready to go, you know, because first you got to make the team. First you got to get invited. you know, but it's all about the mindset. So
Right.
if I was one of them players, I would put on my calendar, I'd mark the day the Olympics start,
Count it down.
and that would be my goal. You know, that would be my train of thought. For everything I do, I would lead up to making an Olympic team. So,
Drimmick can't hit the fadeaway. Random, out of nowhere question, Leroy.
yeah.
A lot of people, I'm sure, over the years have asked you, you know, who's your most difficult opponent, you know, and things like that. Who did you love going up against? I want to ask you this. Who do you think is the most underrated player from NBL history?
Oh, man, that's a tough question.
Who balled out over a period of time and doesn't really get the recognition you think that they deserve?
There are a lot of guys. I mean, you look at Vacona. He's been in the league for many years, and he does all the dirty work and gets no credit. You know, there are a lot of guys that have played in this league that have done things that don't show up on the stat sheet. You know, and for people like myself to receive some accolades, it only comes from playing with those guys that have done stuff. You know, like when I was in Brisbane, you look at a guy like Roger Smith.
Yeah.
You know, very tough defensive player. I had to go against him every day.
Right.
So he made me ready every week because I know if I can beat Roger, I can beat most players because he was a tough defender.
Oh, man.
So it's guys like him that I look up to, man. You know, because without them, I would be nobody.
And what an athlete he was.
Yeah.
The NBL ran a video recently that compared plays between him and Nathan Sobey.
Yes, similar players.
Right, very similar.
Similar.
I want to ask you about one who I think's a little underrated. He does have his name on a medal, though. Ray Borner.
Oh,
the
of course.
MVP
Ray.
of the Blitz.
Ray.
Right.
We're just talking about that over there because he felt like he hadn't hit anyone in a few years, and one of the NBL players came over and he gave him a little shot to the ring. He felt good.
The bow came out.
Yeah, the bow came out.
Yeah.
So he felt good.
It had
about
been a
that.
while. Tell us about playing. I mean, did you cop a few Ray bows over the
Oh,
journey?
of course. And they don't breed him like Ray anymore.
No.
Man. I mean, the closest thing I've seen to Ray today is probably Harry Frawley. So, yeah, man, you need a big fella out there to control the court. You know, and you go inside on Ray, man, you probably won't go in there because he's going to tell you, if you come in here, I got something for you, you know. And he was a tough guy, man.
Yeah, there aren't many. Most teams had an enforcer.
Yeah, but the game won't allow you to have an enforcer anymore.
Right.
So that's kind of phased out.
Right.
You know, like they phasing the 5-man out. You know, it's a changing game.
Although it's interesting, this Brisbane lineup, their leading scorer tonight, 14 points, Matt Hodgson, in that pick and they've got 4 out, 1 in. They're finding him on that pick and roll, and he's eating, and it's a 1-point game right now. Brisbane in the lead.
Triple L, who was the toughest opponent?
Well, I don't want to sound conceited, but I think I was my toughest opponent.
Got you.
Because if I didn't go out in the right mindset, you know, I was going to get my butt kicked. And, I mean, most of the guys, you take your hat off to them. They were very talented guys. But, you know, if you brought your A game, you had a chance. So, I mean, I played against some great players. You always had your Andrew Gazes. You know, you talk Mark Dalton. You talk Tiny Pender, Ricky Grace, Al Green. You know, and some guys you haven't even heard of that have played in this league, and you know they came in and they went out. So, yeah, I mean, it's just like that. That's just my mindset.
Right.
You know?
Step back jumper from Taylor put Adelaide in the lead, but that one from Sobey edges Brisbane back in front. Leroy, last question. Who was your... here's Taylor again. Whack! He's cooking right now, Deshaun Taylor. After telling us at halftime that he feels like he's got a lot to play for. Sobey right back at him, can't hit. Who was your favourite coach you played for in Australia and why?
I'd probably have to say Tim Richardson, because he got me to Adelaide back in '82. I liked what I saw, and he said to me that his brother saw me play when I was in Fairmont State, and he said, Ken, you got to find this skinny guy, Skinny Loggins. And lo and behold, I was in Australia playing. And he said, you got to sign this guy up. And I was able to get out of Brisbane and go to Adelaide. And we had some good things happen in Adelaide. So.
Right, yeah. People forget that
Yeah,
stint.
yeah. And Kim he was a player coach.
Okay.
So, you know, he knew what we had to do.
Yeah.
He knew what we had to do to prepare to win the game. So.
No need to say more. All right, Leroy, always awesome to catch up and have a chat. It's part of what I look forward to with the Blitz year in, year out, catching up with you guys, you and Cal, Ray, who, of course, as I said before, the MVP of the Blitz is named after the Ray Borner medal. So good to chat to you, get your impressions of the game and the teams, and
just one
walk
more
down
thing
memory
before
lane.
I go. One more thing before I go. I got to RIP my boy Davis. So I just wanted to put that out there, man.
Okay.
Yeah, he played here in Launceston. Ian Davies. Yes. Because
Lights
like I
out
said,
shooter.
you hear a lot of guys talking about Andrew Gaze and Shane Hill.
Yes.
In the Olympics, Ian Davies led the scoring in the Olympics.
Right.
He was a hell of a scorer, man. He led the NBL in scoring.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to give a big shout out to my man up there in heaven. So,
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks, Leroy. Awesome to chat. We'll speak again soon. Thank you so much.